So this is a gentler, short session. It's designed like today, it's an evening, I just want to wind down, but also feel a bit of movement through my body because I've not moved much today. So we're going to start super gentle and we're going to start sitting upright with our legs bent and slightly wide, just inside the width of your mat with a slight bend. And the reason we say slight bend is we're going to sit up on our sit bones, really nice and even, abdominals drawn in, and we're just going to circle those shoulders back to start with and circle them forward. And then go back and kind of draw them together, feel them glide down your back. And we're going to do a little roll down from this seated position. So your chin is still parallel with your mat or the floor. You breathe in and take the chin to the chest, and you keep rolling your head down, and your hands come down towards the mat, and you roll them out in front but concentrate primarily on your vertebra. So you're rolling down through the top of the back, the mid of the back, and obviously you're not going to get all the way down through the lumbar while you're sitting here, but draw the abdominals into the spine. Don't shoot the arms right out. Just go as far as you can for this first one. Stop there. And on your breath, wait till you take a nice comfortable breath in, and on the out breath, draw your abdominals into your spine and restack from wherever you are there, all the way up, one vertebra at a time, drawing your shoulder blades together, keeping the chin parallel with the floor and the eye gaze forward. And you can do this a few times. So if I've gone way too slow and you've gone a little bit faster there, or if I'm doing them quite quickly and you're only getting one done, that's absolutely fine. Go with your own pace. What I am going to suggest you do though is each time you come down, just making sure that as you roll up, you start from the bottom of the back and up, and as you roll down, start from the neck and down through the back. Lovely. Breathe in through the nose, into the rib cage, out through the mouth. Draw your abdominals into your spine. And as you reach forward each time, I always imagine that I've got a little quality street or something. Maybe it's just because I've been eating a lot lately of those. They're just at the fingertips, or one of those little chocolates from a Heroes pack or something. And each time you reach forward, you're pushing that chocolate a little bit further out away from you. Draw your abdominals in, and on your out breath, roll back in. Anyone who knows me super well knows that most of my analogies will be food and sweetie related. Shoulder blades drawn together, eye gaze forward. Let's do one more. Breathe in, chin to chest. Breathe out. Draw the abdominals in, roll down through the spine. You may need to send your arms out a little way from you. Roll them out. Imagine that you're coming to where you left the chocolate last time. You're pushing it even further away this time. Go further and further. This time go as far as you can while it's comfortable, while you're still even on your sit bones, and take a few nice breaths there, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Draw the abs in, come back up. Only bring the hands halfway between your outreach and back to the starting position, and take your legs out straight. Feel the back of the knees in contact with your mat. You now have a V shape with your legs, and your legs are just to the inside width of your mat. Your feet are flexed. And this time you're going to go back forward again. See where you left that little chocolate. See if you can move it a little bit further away again. So each time now, this time we're going into the hamstrings. Draw the abs in. We come all the way up. Draw the shoulder blades back together. We do one last roll down with the legs lovely and long. So your chin to chest. Draw the abdominals in on that in-breath. And on the out-breath, roll down through the back. The arms come forward and come and take hold of your feet. If you can't take hold of the inside or the outside of your feet, it doesn't really matter. The outside of the feet, let's do that together. Hold on to your calves or your ankles. So you're hoping you can reach somewhere on your lower half of your limbs. So just take hold of wherever you can go. We're all different, and it always depends as well on what time of day you may be doing this for flexibility. Take a few breaths there, maybe draw down a little bit further, just relaxing into that stretch. So you're stretching here, you may feel it in the lower back now this time, really getting into the lumbar, maybe in the little top of the hips, and almost definitely the back of your thighs there in the hamstrings. A few more breaths there. And as I push your chest closer down in between your knees and to the mat in between your legs, take your left hand and just pop it to the side of your head there on the left. Breathe in, draw the abdominals in, and on the out breath, we're going to turn in our waists towards the left. So we're going into a rotation. Now this first one can be quite small, so you're holding onto the foot with the right hand, and we're rotating with our left. Now you want the movement to really come from the waist, but make sure that that elbow plays a little role too. And then we take the arm long and maybe do this last one with a long arm. Now if that doesn't feel so comfortable or the rotation's a bit too strong for you, carry on with your hand to the side of your head. Take hold the back of the feet again. Draw forward, relaxing into that stretch. Take the right hand to the side of the head, and we go again, but out towards the right. Come back for the gaze between your legs. Breathe in, draw the abs in. Breathe out, rotate. And come back down. And the last one, we take that arm nice and long and we reach it out to the side, taking the eye gaze to look at the hand for a little bit of an extra stretch there in our neck. Don't force anything, and come back to that position. Breathe in, draw the abdominals in, and come up to a seated position. While we've done some little rotations there, let's take it a little bit deeper. So we keep the legs in that nice V shape. Take the arms out to the side. Breathe in, and on the out breath, come up out of your waist and twist towards your left. Keep your shoulder blades away from your ears as we come down towards our thighs. Breathe in, and on the out breath, come to the front. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. Reach away. Breathe in, come up out of the waist. Breathe out, twist, and come over our right thigh. Our little finger on the left hand, just grazing the little toe on the right. Let's do a couple more. Reach forward. So we're just playing with that lovely stretch we've done in our hamstring and the rotation, and just taking both a little deeper, this time stretching the arms out each side, making sure you're drawing the abdominals into the spine. Now you can carry on doing them that width, or you can take them out just a little bit wider, the legs. Breathe in, come up out to the waist, turn, come forward and up and back to the front. And again, twist to the right, breathe in, breathe out, draw the chest down to the top of the right thigh. Really send the arms out in the opposite direction. Now you can carry on doing that, but I'm going to layer on again. Reach forward. If you want, come up, take the hand behind, make sure it's really steady, really firm. Breathe in, draw the abdominals in, and reach back. Go within your own range of movements. Take it nice and easy, or just carry on with the move without the progressions. So by now, we could be having 3 versions going on here. You could be doing the narrow leg version. You could be doing the wide leg, but without the bend. So reach out, draw the abs, and just glide back with the breath. Take it nice and easy. We're not rushing anything here. For our last one, reach forward, up, hand to the back, and reach back, and come back bottoms to the mat, legs forward. We're going to bring the legs together and we're going to bend the knees, draw the abdominals in, shoulder blades drawn back and down, and we're going to roll to the mat. Now you can use a band to do this. You can hold very gently behind your thighs, see how you feel, or you can go without. Take the arms forward, shoulders away from the ears, breathe in. On the out breath, draw the abdominals into your spine as you feel a C shape in our lower back region. And then we draw our shoulder blades over towards our hips, keeping the chin away from our chest. Draw the abdominals in, keep drawing and keep breathing as you roll down to the mat. Try and come down one vertebra at a time, really slowly landing every single vertebra. Then your shoulder blades, back of your head, the arms come behind and your eye lines to the ceiling. Breathe in. On the out breath, bring your arms over, draw the abdominals in, curl the shoulders up, start rolling all the way up through the back, coming up onto your sit bones. And we go again. So you breathe in, draw the abdominals into the spine. On the out breath, curl over onto the tailbone. When you're on your tailbone there, breathe in again, and on the out breath, start rolling down through the back. Really trying to take it slow. Be mindful of any areas of your back that may be coming down in little sections so that you can be mindful for future work in those areas. Bring the arms overhead, breathe in, breathe out, lift the head, bring the arms over, curl the shoulder blades over, try and curl the back up off the mat, come back up to sitting. Take the legs straight out, feet flex, take the arms up, come forward as if you're coming over a beach ball that's on your lap, so you curl the chest over rather than pushing it into the chest. If you can hold onto your feet or over the feet, that's fine. Otherwise, just curl it over and breathe. Take a few more breaths there. And then draw the abdominals in. Use the abdominals to restack in the spine. Draw the shoulders down. Feel them glide down your back. And we're going to come down one more time. So, arms forward, breathe in, draw the abdominals in, come onto your tailbone, really feel that C shape in the spine as you come down. Now some of us may be a bit stiffer in our lumbar. You can always roll a little towel there just to support your lower back. Straighten the legs on this last one and reach away with the arms and the legs in the opposite direction. Bring the arms by your side, take your feet up, bend the knees. So you can bring your knees and feet together, take the feet out at the front and bring the heels around. So you feel quite confident, your feet are not just parallel, but in a nice hip width distance. Breathe in on the out breath. I'm going to go into a flat back here. And then keep going with the breath as we come into our bridge. So lift the tailbone up and slowly roll up through the spine. Keep the big toe joints on the mat. Keep that roll up through the back. And then with your shoulder blades remaining on the mat, draw the abs in. Make sure you're engaging your gluteals, your butt cheeks, as you draw the hips up towards the ceiling. Take a few breaths there, and on your next out breath, relax between the shoulder blades so you can feel your spine come back down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. Then your hips, and then into your neutral spine. Breathe in, and on the out breath, we'll go again into flat back. Keep the tailbone curling up towards the ceiling as you come up, lifting one vertebra at a time into your shoulder bridge. In your bridge here this time, we're going to bring the arms above our heads, palms facing forward. Breathe in, and on the out breath, take the elbows out to the side, back of the forearms on the floor. Send the arms behind, really making sure you can still feel an engagement with the arms and the back of the rib cage. So that may mean that the back of the hands are not on the floor but hovering just slightly. Reaching away, breathe in, and on the out breath start rolling down, but keeping your arms reaching out behind you as you roll down through the back, one vertebra at a time. When you come to neutral spine, take a nice breath in through the nose, and on the out breath we're going to bring our arms over, but our head, shoulders and the top of our back there will come up as well into a chest lift. Keep your chin away from your chest. Keep reaching those arms away from you. Draw the abdominals in so there's no mounding. We're going to breathe in and bring the hands one at a time to the side of our heads. Reach up a bit further. Breathe out and breathe in. Breathe out as you reach away, and maybe you can bring the shoulder blades a little bit further off the mat. So you breathe in, bringing the both arms in, and then breathe out, reaching away. Let's do that for 3 more times. Keep the abdominals drawn in. If you want to feel the back of the hip bones level on the mat as you reach away, 1 more time. Really nice. Come down to the mat. I want you to just do a little bit of a pelvic tilt here to find your neutral spine. Draw those abdominals in. Breathe in, and on your out breath, lift up one leg into a tabletop, and on the other breath, lift up the other leg. Now bring the arms up, feel the shoulder blades really relaxing into the mat. Let's go into a single arm, single leg here. So draw the abdominals in, reach away with your right arm and left leg, and draw you both back into start. And go again on the other side. Keep the abdominals drawn in. And if you feel yourself coming out of neutral spine or any arching at all in your lower back, just take your feet to the floor and restack. Now, if having your arms and your legs up, just a few little hacks here. You cannot do the arms, so your arms can be crossed over your chest. Keep going, and that may feel a little bit more comfortable for you. You can keep your arms by your side. Don't grip into the mat, keep them lovely and light. The other option as well is you can not take your legs so close to the floor. So you may want to do arm and leg, single arm and legs, really coordination is really good for you. But you may prefer, at this stage at least, on how you're feeling today, to keep that leg at a bigger angle there with the floor. Okay, so working whichever one that feels the best for you without pulling you, that's going to challenge you but doesn't take your back out of neutral spine and allows you also to keep those abdominals drawn in. And we're going to do 4 more. And 3. A nice amount here that helps really switch off the rectus abdominis and really targets the deep abdominals. And another one each side. Really nice. Bring your knees into your chest and circle them away from each other. And back round the other way. Take the feet to the floor, one at a time. And we're going to come over onto one side. Take the arm away. Lie on the arm. You can have a little cushion just here on your arm if that's more comfortable for you. And you want to make sure that your torso is parallel with your mat, your knees, the bottom knee we're going to keep bent for this one so it gives us a little bit more stability, but you want your hips completely stacked. Draw the abdominals in to keep you nice and aligned. and your leg, top leg is out at a hip length, hip width, hip height even. And you're going to flex your foot, and we're going to flex up and point down. Flex up, point down. Keep going, flex and point down. And a fair few more to go yet. All I'm going to ask you to do at this stage is, when you bring the leg down, that you make sure you don't let it collapse with gravity, but instead you bring it down with intent. So keep the abdominals drawn in, torso lovely and still, as we do 3 more. And 2. And 1. Keep it there at hip height. Draw the abs in. Really make sure you contract or engage that glute. We're doing little circles with that leg. So it's the whole leg right out of the hip joint, but you really want to envisage you doing little, like you've got a pencil on the end of your big toe, and you're doing little circles on the wall away from you. And then back round the other way. So keep them as consistent as you can, and really feel it hopefully in that top, the glute on that top leg. So do 3 more. 2 and 1. Flex your foot again. Pop your hand just here in front for a bit of balance. Draw the leg forward and point it back. Take it beyond your hips so you can just feel a squeeze in your glute there. Flex again. Bring the leg forward and back. Try and keep that leg at hip height at all times. As you take it back, keep your abdominals engaged, flex forward, point back, and we're just going to do 1 more. Draw it forward and point back. Flex it back, but bring the knee on top of each other. Bring the knees out at 90 degrees in front of you there. Pop your head in your cradle hands and draw your elbows together. We're going to do a little open book here, just a couple to stretch out through the shoulder. Draw the abdominals in, lift up the top elbow. Keep that elbow traveling behind you. You want the rotation to be in your waist, so this hip shouldn't move at all. And as you take the elbow behind, your eye line follows that elbow, so you can feel a lovely stretch in that shoulder and maybe even the neck, and a little spine rotation as well. Bring the elbow back, as we like to say, closing the book. And then we go 1 more time. Breathe in, draw the abdominals in, breathe out, take the elbow up, take it behind your eye line, following the elbow as it goes behind you. And you can always hold it there if you're getting a lovely stretch. Just breathe into that stretch and come back over. And we're going to come over onto our fronts. Going to bring our arms out, take the legs out, walk the legs away so you feel a nice length between the bottom rib and the hip. And your eye line's down, your head is a couple of centimetres or 1 inch or 2 off the mat. Keep the head nice and long. And I want you to envisage that you roll in a marble or Malteser under your nose. So you breathe in, press the hips into the floor, draw the abdominals into your spine. Breathe out, roll that imaginary Malteser or marble away with the nose. Go so far away and you start to lift up off the mat. Now, I don't want you to come all the way up, so you don't want to come any higher than, so that you haven't got any ribs on the mat, okay? So you want to keep your bottom rib on the mat. But come up on this first one, hold it there, so you've got a little bit of pressure into the floor. Breathe in on the out breath. I want you to turn your head to look towards your right. Nice, go really nice and slow. This is a really nice neck stretch. Come back through to the midline and over the other side. Come back to look at your mat and come back down. We're going to do that 1 more time. Okay, so don't worry if you've got a little bit of pressure in the floor. Breathe in, draw your abdominals away from the spine. roll your imaginary marble away with your nose, peel up through the sternum, feel the shoulder blades glide down your back, and when you've come up, not always as high as you can unless it's really comfortable, then breathe out, turn your head to look to your right, come back round through to the middle and over the other side to look to the left. I want you to feel the whole underside of the floor with your hand from your fingertips to the palm and then back down. Now this time I want you to imagine that your hands are on super thin ice. Now anybody who knows this exercise well and feels really strong in the upper back, you can actually take your hands an inch off the floor to do this. Otherwise, just really light on the floor. Breathe in. On the out breath, roll the marble away with your nose. Lengthen through the neck. So rolling up through the sternum, coming up, making sure you keep that your bottom ribs on the mat. And if you have used your hands on the floor to come up, maybe here you can lift them off and see how you get on with the strength in your upper back. Breathe in, and on the out breath, come back down. Breathe in, roll the marble away on the out breath, lengthen through the neck, start lifting up. And when you're up as high, but no higher than that bottom rib, still firmly in contact with the mat, hold it there, but keep breathing, don't hold your breath. And if you want to take your hands off the floor, give it a go. If you've already come up with your hands off the floor, you can come back down with the breath. We'll do one more. Breathing in. The out breath, lengthen the neck away. Keep the eye line down as you lift up through the back. Few breaths there. And then come back down. Hands each side of your shoulders, push away. Take your bottom to your heels, stretch out through the lower back with your forehead on the floor. Feeling a nice stretch out in the lower back. And then coming up, we're going to come over onto the other side. So I want you to lie down, torso parallel with the mat. Reach away with your hand. So the knees pointing down to the bottom corner and the top leg long, so at hip height. So we're going to flex up and point down. And as you do this, just make sure your abdominals are engaged and your hips are as stacked as neatly, one on top of each other. So you lift that top leg and lower. Lift and lower. Keep going. Now your hand can be on your hip. You can have it just rest in here, or if you need a bit more stability, you can just pop it out a little bit further in front. See how you get on. Let's do 4 more. And 3. And 2. And 1. Really nice. Keep it there. Point your toe. Just do little circles. Feel that leg coming out from the hip. You're feeling the circles almost happening in your hip, that top of the thigh in your hip joint. Making sure that you're engaging your butt cheek to do the work for you there. And back round in the other direction. For another 3, 2, 1. Flex your foot. Pop the hand to stabilize you as we bring the leg forward and point back. Take it beyond the hip, squeezing in that glute. So we bring it forward and take it back. Bringing it forward and taking it back for another 2. And another 1. Reach back and bring both legs on top of each other. Legs out at 90 degrees. Pop your hands in your cradled, your head in your cradled hands. Draw the abdominals in. Breathe in, and on the out breath, bring your elbow up. Start taking it behind you. You're not clenching onto your head, so your head's free to follow that top elbow as it travels behind. And wherever you feel you need to stop for that stretch out in your shoulder, just breathe into it. And like me, I'm sure most people will feel different from one side to the other. So you may be working on one that may feel a little bit stiffer than the other side. Closing, bringing the elbows together, closing your book, breathing in, and on the out breath, take your elbow over, draw it behind. That twist is in the waist as you take the elbow back as far as you can, eye line gazing at your elbow. A few breaths there, and then close the book. Bringing your elbows together. Take the hands to the floor, come over onto all fours. Tuck the toes under, tuck the tailbone under, draw the abdominals into your spine and really arch your back up to the ceiling. Push in between the shoulder blades, the head hangs down. And keeping your head there, starting with the tailbone, straighten the feet. Take the tailbone up to the ceiling, feel the abdominals come down towards the mat, shoulder blades glide down your back as your head and eye line look forward. And then come into a neutral spine, so halfway between those extremes. Breathe in on the out breath, take your right hand, reach out to the right side, turn your head to look at the hand, and come down for a thread the needle. We've had some really nice spine rotations in this session. Hopefully feeling a little bit more limbered up. Reaching forward. A few more breaths there. And coming back up. And again on the other side. So take the arm up. Come down. Reaching under. For a thread in the hand under the right, taking the shoulder down towards the floor for a stretch. Few more breaths. Coming back onto all fours, curl the toes under, push up and have a stretch out, taking each heel one at a time to the floor for a nice stretch out through your calves. Couple more here. Bring the knees back to the mat, come back to sit on your heels, take the head to the mat and bring the arms forward into a child's pose. You can bring the arms around your side, back of that hands on the mat, feeling really relaxed through the arms, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, and you are done.